Item 1 is public comment. I got one card. I'm going to take public comment first. Just general public comment. Mr. Herman. 1 minute public comment.
Fine. What additional brainstorm have you created? Does not you, as a commission, not on time, be here for the public? But what about more so for tourism? Have you explained that tourism here in Los Angeles, we have crime, homicides reports here in Los Angeles? We are no longer safe riding our bikes, walking in Los Angeles, tourism, because we have become the hit and run capital of the world. We've become the capital of murder in this world. Item of the agenda 2 weeks ago, Tyree Rowe. Item 41, item 39, Clarence Bourne. Item 36, Luis Vargas. Item 35, Roman Estrada. And recently, today in council, you will hear Daryl Gatewood, item 28, died August 23rd on a bike ride in LA, South Central, in the 400 block of South Central, Newton Division. It reflects city officials have not controlled the crime, and the Crime Stoppers need to get on the ball. You cannot do this for the severe penalties of the smallest offense.
Mr. CLA.
Okay, so we're ready to go with item 1? Item 1 is... Item 1 is...
Sergeant, would you take this man to the back of the room and explain to him that he has no ability to upset this meeting? Thank you.
Item 1 is a contract amendment with Home Depot for various services at the airport. The amendment extends the contract authority by $1 million and extends it for 2 years.
10 minutes.
Good morning. Council Member Dave Shooter, Deputy Director for Maintenance and Utilities. This extends a 3-year contract, which is with the U.S. Cities Procurement Alliance. They just extended their options to 2017, so we're adding 2 years to a 3-year contract. It's Home Depot, it's common hardware items, small construction items that we use over the period of time for repair and maintenance.
For all 3 airports?
All 3 airports,
Good.
correct.
Okay. Do we go to just 3 Home Depots, or do we support more than that?
Oh, we'll go to other, and we have a Grainger which supplies many repair parts, so we have 2 or 3 sources. The advantage of Home Depot is weekends.
Got it.
Jim House, City Administrative Office. The contract guarantees the best price that Home Depot offers to any government agency, so it's a good deal.
Very good. Thank you.
And I should add that it says 9th Amendment on your sheet. It's the First Amendment.
Very good.
That was our error.
So, Mr.
Got that?
Yeah.
CLA, we could correct that, Mr. Clerk?
Yeah.
We have one card, Mr. Herman.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. LaBonge, as you see, there's only 1 minute. You were 15 minutes late, and you cannot provide the public a comment more than 1 minute. That's a damn shame. But I'm going to go on to this topic. I disagree, and I'm against this administrative exemption to extend the term and the increased funding for the construction and maintenance supplies just through one bid, Home Depot. What about Lowe's? What about the smallest private sectors that we're trying to increase and influence business in Los Angeles along with tourism? It's a damn shame in Los Angeles. I know we can't vote on this today, so it's going to carry it over because Mike Bonin and Joe Busquiano are not here. So I'll let you keep your 13 seconds. Thank you, LA.
Okay, recommend approval. Next item.
Item number 2 is at the airports, a contract with Best Contracting Service for roof services. 5-year contract, amount not to exceed $8.6 million.
Right. This is the standard 5 years is why we're here instead of, since it's not a 3-year contract. 5 years is standard for the city. For this type of contract, roofing is a tough job, requires a lot of insurance, a lot of bonding. We had 5 bidders. It also requires a quick response, a 4-hour response, 24/7. So there's not many contractors in the city that can do this. But 5 years is important because you don't have a lot of replacements in a single year. So 5 years makes a lot of sense. The contractor has to amortize a lot of equipment, special equipment for roofing.
Just a technical question. If it doesn't rain, can you add a year?
We still get leaks, believe it or not.
Okay, good. Mr. CAO.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Bill Kreitz with the CAO's office. Yes, we've reviewed this and we recommend approval. We also looked at the 5-year period, and because of the vendor's ability to amortize their cost, and to the 5 years also allows a larger number of vendors to propose on this contract, we recommend approval. We believe that the 5 years is an optimal period.
Thank you very much. Recommend approval on number 2.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if staff could wait, my colleagues will come, and if they have any questions.
In the garage.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Item number, yes.
I believe I have a card on you as well.
No, Mr. Herman?
1 minute, Los Angeles, and we're talking about what? The best maintenance for roof repair. In a time with science and technology and advanced materials that we can use to fix, repair,
Sergeant.
without any, please don't interrupt me, Mr. LeBon. Let me finish. It's just 1 minute. Thank you. So, getting on topic, again, why are we wasting the public's money with such nonsense of roof repair? Your little comic was not as funny as I take it, because again, this is, again, public money. Public interest should be your concern to balance and budget monies that can be appropriated to the right decision to repair and fix our airports so that people don't get wet. Have a nice day.
Okay, next item.
Item number 3 is a harbor item. It's a First Amendment to a permit with Catalina Express to implement various changes to the permit pursuant to a settlement agreement and to adjust rental compensation for the next 5 years.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Bill Kreitz with the CAO's office. Our harbor analyst is unable to make it this morning, and I'm not familiar with the details. However, I will say I did speak to the analyst, and the CAO does recommend approval of this item.
Great. Okay, I'm going to hold this for the arrival of Mr. Buscaino.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Mr. CAO.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item number 4 is also a harbor item. It's the proposed 6th Amendment to the permit with APM terminals, basically adjusting compensation to bring them up to market rate.
For Pier 400.
For Pier 400.
Good. Does anyone from the staff want to speak to this?
We would like to hold this until Councilor Buscaino gets here.
He is right
Oh,
here.
he's here now.
Got here.
Let's reconsider items 1 and 2.
Yes, yeah. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Good morning, good morning.
Business.
How's that fire down there?
Brutal.
Brutal, right. Mr. CLA, Mr. Buscaino is here. Can
So,
we do the whole items over? And have you reviewed the agenda, Mr. Buscaino?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mr.
so item 4 or item 3?
One.
Oh,
Reconsideration of item 1.
yes. Item 1 was extending the contract with Home Depot at the airport.
Any questions, Mr. Buscaino?
No, move to approve the item.
Move to approve, unanimous. Next one.
Item number 2 is a new contract with the airports for roofing with Best Contracting Service.
Move
They
to
were the
approve,
lowest
yeah.
bid.
Move to approve. Thank you for reviewing that.
Item number 3 is the First Amendment for the permit with Catalina Express. and it changes the various things in the settlement agreement, and it's for the next 5 years.
Yes, and this item, this is a very important item that I support in moving forward in ensuring that we move forward on the totality of the project of moving freight between both the mainland using the Kelly Express and also onto the island side as well. So I recommend that we approve this item, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. So ordered. Item number 4, if you call that.
Item number 4 is a proposed 6th amendment to the permits with APM terminals for Pier 400. It involves a complex set of rate adjustments.
Great. Could I ask staff to report?
Morning, Mr. Chair. Morning, Councilman.
Morning, Mr. Soroka. Your first official TCT meeting.
Yes, it is.
I'm back from the appointment. Welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And Mr. Brusca, I know you're going to ask, I know you're going to council on some of this today.
Yes.
If you could ask the general manager to stay and report to the council on the
Yes.
current activity
Great.
in the port. And we'll talk to the president of the council and get you in and out so you can get back to the port. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The action requested of you this morning is to approve the 6th Amendment to permit number 827 with APM Terminals Pacific Limited. 2 actions required. Number 1, to change the tenant name to APM Terminals Pacific Limited to APM Terminals Pacific LLC, a simple name change in their structure. Second is to retain the existing rates for all tariff items until the completion of this current 5-year reset date of July 31st, 2017.
Mr. Brusca, any questions?
No, I know, just want to commend Mr. Soroka and his team for coming to terms with APM. This was it's a huge lease agreement that will ensure that we remain the number 1 port container port rather in the country. So I know this is how long you've been dealing with this lease and going back and forth.
A little more than 2 years.
Right.
And we reinstituted negotiations in earnest over the last 2 months and have reached an agreement with our number 1 client.
Right. And I understand APM, we're joined by Commissioner Dave Arian. Thank you, Dave, for being here. I understand APM averages 1 million lifts annually?
3 million.
3 million annually, and I believe you
3 million TEUs annually, yes, that's correct.
And I understand that you can put the Port of Seattle at the APM terminal. Is that my understanding?
Yes.
So this is a huge deal, and I recommend approval. Mr.
Absolutely. And
Did Commissioner say anything?
Commissioner, would you like to say a few words?
Can you do anything about the freeway system?
Yes, we can.
Light rail to the harbor.
Yeah, San Pedro Freeway needs to have a name change first.
No, I just think that this is a critical terminal for us. When we built Pier 400, or when they built Pier 400, we didn't have anybody to go in it. And this was the big terminal over in Long Beach. When they came over, it really secured our position as number 1. And it's taken us 1.5 years to get us this agreement. We get a new director. We get it in 2 months. So
Right.
kudos to our
Good things to
director.
come with Mr. Soroka. Thank you, Commissioner.
Chairman, Councilman, with us here today is the new general manager of the APM terminal, Mr. Steve Trombley, who would like to say a word.
Good.
Good morning, Councilman.
Morning, Steve.
Council members, Commissioner, Board Directors, first we'd like to thank you all. Today's a very special day for us. I want to say a special thank you to Executive Director Gene Soroka for putting the time.
Keep talking.
Putting the time and the hours to facilitate this agreement. So we're very proud of the agreement, and we look forward to a long future relationship with the Port of LA. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Where'd you grow up?
Boston.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right. You like the Patriots?
Absolutely.
Who was their best defensive back of all time?
I wouldn't say Revis, that's for sure.
No, Mike Haynes.
There you go.
Haynes.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. So, thank you. This is good, and Commissioner, and thank you so much for your leadership, being a local guy, helping get this done, the new commissioner, the new port manager. I reminisce, and Avak could reminisce as well. Mayor Bradley, one of his big pushes was Pier 400, and to see this transformation is good. So we have one public comment card. We thank you. This is going to council today.
Mr. Chair. This takes us to 2017, is that my understanding?
That's correct. This is the current 5-year reset period under city charter.
Okay, when do we begin discussions for the next reset?
As early as the permit and the charter will allow us to ensure that we're on time.
Very good.
And this is going to council today, Mr.
The deadline, our deadline is October 17, so I don't know if it's in council today.
Mr. Clerk, is it going to council today?
Yes, it will be in council today.
Yeah, because all this talent has come up the Harbor Freeway. We don't want to have to make it do it twice. Okay, very good. We have one card. You can vacate your seats. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sergeant, in this one card, you recognize this to be Mr. Herman. There's no name. Mr. Herman, please fill out your card in the future. Thank you.
This recommendation, obviously, folks, as you heard the 3 comments, along with Mr. LeBon's comment, and was it satisfying that Joe Busquiano came in at 8:50 late just to satisfy this this take of this agenda? And what about Eric Martel? What did he have to say? Nothing. He was put into this process at the harbor by Jose Huizar. Again, no scandal, right? But our duty is to protect the harbor, protect our trade, ensure that these containers do not contain illegal counterfeit dollar bills, let alone they do not contain items that are fraud and sold on our streets here in LA, right down the street from here, the alleys. And then again, who's to say that there are not narcotics in these containers? So without these rates, and again, the approval of this city, I say to you, do a better job and safeguard our harbor and make sure those containers have a permit. Thank you.
Mr. Herman.
Yes.
You left something on the table. Thank you. No.
Oh, my name tag. Thank you.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah. Well, Batman did it better for Gotham, so watch some of his shows, see how he helped the city. Mr. Busca, there's no other items on this right now. So I want to thank everybody for coming. And those who have a new time, I'll ask the new port director, have you been to the top of this building ever?
Yes, I have.
Good job. And has the man from Boston been to the top of the building?
No, sir.
You got 59 minutes before council starts. And
Has
your
Eric
great
Martel been to the top?
assistant director right there, Cynthia Ruiz, will show you.
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned. Have a good day.